For those of you who don't know, I've chosen not to go to uni, and from where I'm from in Zimbabwe, and especially my circles, that is a very rare decision. Most of the people I went to school with, in fact, like 95%, 99% of people, they travel abroad for uni. They go to the States, they go to the UK, they'll even go to South Africa, like anywhere but Zimbabwe. And I chose to stay here because of my vision, the vision that I have for the future. And because most people in my circles have gone, I've had to say goodbye to most of them. So for 9 months, 10 months out of the year, most of my closest friends, they aren't here. And I'm not going to lie to you, it has been tough. Especially the first few months, saying bye to all of my friends. Accepting that I was going to be alone most of the time, right? Of course, I make new friends, but like, it's hard to make new friends with most of the people your age and you can relate to are out of the country. So I felt alone a lot of the time. Most mornings I'll just wake up being anxious. I'll wake up with this pessimistic mindset, like, you know what, none of the people I know here, so why should I even be doing anything? Like, this loneliness, it actually became paralyzing. Like, you know when you feel alone, the world is like black and white, your food doesn't taste as nice, the music doesn't hit the same. That's how life felt. And I knew that I couldn't carry on going with it, so I adopted measures to deal with the loneliness. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I've dealt with it. So the first thing that we need to address when dealing with loneliness is to accept that humans aren't meant to be alone. In Genesis, in the first book in the Bible, but God said that it is not good for man to be alone, so therefore he created Eve. So as human beings, we're not meant to be alone. There's a certain void that can never be filled just by yourself, like never. So with these measures that I'm going to talk to you about, it's actually just one. With the thing that I'm going to talk to you about in this video, it's not going to solve the problem, but it's going to mitigate it as much as you can, as much as you can do by yourself, right? So I want to get that expectation out. Like, you're not going to suddenly go from like being lonely to feeling like, I don't need anyone in this world. You still need people around you. So when we feel lonely, it's because we have this lack of connection or lack of relationships with other people. So the same way that you have relationships with other people is the same way that you have a relationship with yourself. Because, okay, I'm going to talk from my experience and from the experience of most people that I've talked to. You don't view yourself as yourself, if that makes sense. Like, obviously you're yourself. If your name is John, you're John. But it's like you have a relationship with yourself. You're always having a constant dialogue or whatever, like a story that you're telling yourself, a narrative that you've developed over your past few years. There's always something. Like, you don't view yourself as just like, it's me. Obviously, it's you, but then it's also like you having a conversation with you. Because you have a relationship with yourself, your personal relationship is the only constant relationship that you're going to have in your life. You are always going to be with yourself. You are never going to be like in Bindura, then the rest of yourself is in Harare. Like, no, it's never going to work. You're always going to be with yourself. So therefore, the most important relationship that you have on this earth is a relationship that you have with yourself. The best way I've found to combat loneliness without like seeking random people, right? This framework that I didn't come up with it, I watched it on a YouTube video. So essentially, since you have a relationship with yourself, you're essentially a companion to yourself. So what you need to do is think about what the best friend you could ever have would be like the characteristics. So let's say you'd be kind, you will tell you the brutal truths even when you don't want to hear them. You would be funny, you would make jokes in negative situations so that it would lighten up your mood. Like random characteristics like that. Like think about the best friend ever, or the characteristics that you like from your best friends. Like you probably don't have one best friend, you probably have like three or something, or three closest friends. Think about the characteristics from those guys and say like, okay, what would be the ideal companion? And once you have the characteristics of, let's say, he's kind, he's funny, he's this, he's that, now decide to be that for yourself. Most people, we aren't kind to ourselves. When something bad happens, we hammer it down. You're like, you're so terrible. Why did you do this? This is why you deserve less, whatnot. Like, that's how we talk to ourselves. So in search of becoming the best companion of yourself, you would become... It wouldn't be natural at first. Like, it's not going to be natural. It wasn't natural for me. But you would become the voice that you'd expect of your best friend. So let's say you're going through something, you smack a dage. Smack means like slang for like where I'm from. So let's say you like a girl and dage means whatever. So let's say you like a girl, right? And things aren't going well, and you're selling yourself delusions. What you would expect your best friend to tell you, the truth is she doesn't like you. You need to move on. You need to tell yourself those truths. When you're going through a tough day, when things just aren't going your way, and you'd expect one of your best friends to just make a joke to make you laugh, you make the joke for yourself. So you become the companion that you wish you had in someone else. And obviously, it's not going to be 100% the same as actually having that companion, but it will actually help you. Like, it helps. And I can tell from my own personal experience, it helps a whole deal. And this shouldn't even just be to combat loneliness, it can be to improve the general quality of your life. Because if you have an amazing relationship with yourself, if you develop that kind, humorous, truthful nature, like companionship for yourself, you're less likely to accept subpar relationships from other people, because you know that, this person's treating me wrong. I can treat myself better than this person's treating me, so I'm not going to entertain this. Then you move on from it. So the point of this video is like to battle loneliness, but then this could actually just improve the quality of your relationships, because you will no longer be just seeking random people to fill that void. You will actually be able to be like, you know what, I don't want this person as a friend. Because what? They don't make me feel good. And I don't need to have someone around me for like the next, 2 weeks or whatever. Like, I don't need to. I can be fine by myself. So that's pretty much it. I would be wasting your time if I went on another rant saying, do this, do that, do that. Then in the morning, you're going to have to do exactly this. I'll be wasting your time. I think I've told you everything that is essential. So if you're watching up until this point, you probably like what you've heard. You probably somewhat like me. So it's always in my description, but if you want to go on a coaching call with me for an hour, 30 minutes, however long you want to, just click the first link in the description and it'll organize. It'll take you to this calendar. You put the time, the date when you want to meet me, and can't wait to meet some of you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this will help you combat loneliness and actually just improve your general relationships. So thank you.